Hi guys, my name is Svetlana Mucha and I'm the leading matchmaker and dating coach at Diolli.com, and we continue with Justine discussing international dating. And in this video, we will talk about ladies and what do they want. Actually, I like this idea to talk about female perspective, since our channel is devoted mostly to dating tips for men, and we talk a lot about what men want, but let's talk about women who actually choose international dating for all the right reasons. What do they want? What are they looking for?
So a lot of the women that I have come across with, they have lived abroad, either from study in during high school, university, or some sort of a research, like work, on-site work experiences. So they naturally come back home and start talking to majority of guys who have never lived abroad, or they don't even have a passport. So, they come to us for help. It's a traditional, it's a traditional culture is there, but women who are interested in international dating tend to be a little bit more independent and curious and adventurous, and all three, like very active. And they often watch the overseas TV programs, like American TV series, and everyone, the girls dream about, everyone looks like actors. So that's a kind of interesting generalization, but that's like, I often observe that the reality is slightly different. Everybody else is slightly different from what you see on movies or TV programs, and not every single guys are gentlemen. Some men are not equipped with the manners, and they go Dutch sometimes. Not everyone, pays for meals and drinks and coffees. But that's the reality. But I think it's, people who have never had a relationship, like, international foreign boyfriend, tend to kind of have like whole kind of dream about unrealistic dreams. So I offer
romanticize too much the whole concept. But I believe people who choose international dating, I can claim that the first thing that they are looking for is a romantic adventure. Because not only I'm meeting someone, but we will have to overcome some obstacles like oceans between us, and then we will meet, and this will make our love story more unique and more romantic. And in a sense, it does, because I have noticed how our couples whom we have matched, for example, at their weddings, later on, what they are sharing, how they have met. In reality, he might have been crossing that ocean, flying business class and drinking a martini and watching a movie while playing on his iPad. But the story that he was sharing on the wedding is that I flew 14 hours to meet her, and I didn't know what to expect. And then I saw her, and I saw our future kids in her eyes. In real life, it was not like that, because I was there to witness it. In real life, people have doubts, and sometimes their expectations, they can't reach reality. But what can I say about women who choose international dating, especially Slavic women? Usually they are still Slavic women, and in our culture, if a guy suggests to split the bill on a date, it's like the end of the world. She might have like invested hundreds of dollars into looking good for this date, or for example into cooking a dinner for him at home, but if he suggests that she pays for her coffee, which is a few dollars, it will be a morbid offense. It's a cultural sin, because Even when, for example, I'm meeting a Ukrainian male client, he is paying for my coffee because I'm a woman. And if other guys will see that I'm paying or I'm splitting the bill, they will look funny at him. It's part of the culture. It's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. It's just a cultural thing. For example, not so long ago, I was talking to a lady. She's Ukrainian and she's dating a gentleman from Norway, and he was not leaving tips. And in Europe, in Western Europe, people very occasionally leave tips. It's just €1, €2, something small, not like in the US or, for example, in Ukraine. And she said that he must be not a nice person because service was good. Why didn't he leave tips? And I had to explain to her that culture is different. Pay attention that actually people are not leaving tips because service is included. Like in China, I know that you will actually offend the waiter if you will start leaving tips. I was told by my Chinese clients and during my trips. So the difference in culture, it is there. What else do women want? Sometimes I hear it from gentlemen that, oh, they are choosing international dating because they don't want to date like Ukrainian men. No, usually the whole concept is I'm looking for a person. I want this romantic adventure. I want to find love, and I want our love to be more special than other loves that I see around. And she doesn't really care if he will be from Norway or if he will be from United States or if he will be from Greece, for example. So it's not like she's choosing a country. Can you tell the same about Japanese ladies you're working with?
Yes, definitely. I think in general, like Japanese ladies, they're constantly, I mean, let's go back, like maybe 20, 30 years ago, like a financial stability of marrying foreigner would have been like a choice for some people. And even now with the developing countries, they have like a financial means by marrying to somebody from the West. But now with Japan, everyone don't really seem to have that money as an incentive. I have like a very wealthy, like a triple digit millionaire man in, he was a Canadian guy in late 50s and wanted to meet someone 25 to 30. That's when I first, started matchmaking. I thought, it just kind of doesn't sound right, but he's a very attractive person, like as a person with a success, and he's a very respectful and all that. And I thought like maybe someone might find him very, attractive regardless of age. So I don't normally go around asking the girls that he's got a lot of money. so that you should meet him, that kind of incentive. I just tell him like he's very successful entrepreneur. He's very young at heart, very successful what he does. He's very smart, and he's just looking for someone to share his life with, someone much younger, because young women tend to say yes. That's what he says. If you're dating someone in 20s, they'll say yes to everything, and which is true. Like if you're starting to get 30, mid 30s and 40s, it'll start to say like, oh, maybe less exciting, less excitement, or something adventurous.
But there is a downside to this. Like when she's in her 20s, she can say yes today, but tomorrow she can change her mind because
exactly.
Somebody has asked her to go and learn how to surf or to go and learn photography. So they tend to change their minds. It's always like a gamble. So
yes,
it's never easy.
Yes, and I also asked the guys, like, can you add 20 years in your age? Like, obviously he's 57. It'll be 77 in 20 years. And if she's 25, in 20 years, she's only 45, you know, how you're going to manage the relationship is always a question. But the ladies these days, back to the story, ladies these days are more realistic. You know, they want to meet someone who's compatible, very worldly, you know, fun. They have a similar interest of doing things. I think a basic thing like traveling together, you know, with enjoy the food or enjoy the wine or something, you know, one or two things that you get to enjoy doing things together. So that's what they expect, really. Not about the money. Some ladies do. Some ladies like, oh, I'm making so much money now, so I would rather meet someone who makes more money than I do. That's what some of the Japanese ladies say these days. But you know, it's really hard. If you achieve the success in late 30s, and then if you're looking for someone around their age, the guys in their same age are usually looking
I'm
for
not
someone
looking for
younger.
you.
So you started, you know. So that's a reality. Yeah, I think it's more success in the like a profile, I mean, solid background that she has, and then she tends to be older, and then she tends to want something that's a little bit more in terms of respecting someone, that she's definitely looking for someone to respect, not to really share and have fun with.
I would say that age gaps are always tricky, because sometimes we are reached by gentlemen who say that, oh, I usually go out with women who are like 15, 20 years younger, and you can tell that he looks good and he wears all the right brands that can attract such women. But are we speaking about short-term dating or long-term?
Yes.
Because it is one thing to go to a posh restaurant with a guy who is dressed in Louis Vuitton and Gucci and blah, blah, blah. And she can be thinking that maybe after 2 dates, he will take her shopping too, so that she looks just like him, in the sense that she will be dressed like that. But is she considering him to be her potential boyfriend, husband, etc.? So men often mix these things. When age gap is included, it is always tricky, because sometimes we have introduced gentlemen to ladies, and for example, she is 17 years younger, and I always warn clients that if you want to date younger, it is tricky. And she went on a date and she said, you know what? He is too old for me. Like on paper, I thought 17 years is not that much, but once we went out, I was thinking all the time that he looks like my uncle, or he's talking like my uncle, or I felt that he is so much older. And all the time I was thinking that all people are looking at us and they are thinking that he is old and I'm young. Sometimes we do get such feedback, and men who want to date much younger, they need to get used to this idea that many women, unfortunately, will get these vibes.
Yes. There's this Chinese guy that he sent me a picture and say like, look, I look like 25 years old. You know, I mean, in reality, he was like 48 years old. And then I said, what, you know, and then I researched him, like I Googled his name, and then, you know, some of the other pictures came up, and he doesn't look like 25 years old. Of course, you know, it's one of those kind of apps that tell you like, oh, you look like a 25 years old. And then I said, and then he went on and telling me like, you know, I only date someone in 20s because they all come to me. They always want to hang out with me. And I said, okay, well, they may be curious because you have a nice car, you have a nice house, and you have a status and you have some connections. That's what they're interested in, not you. And, you know, believe it or not, you don't look like 25.
Of course not.
I have to say, I'm sorry, but I have to be very honest, because I don't think I can represent you. because, that's just going to be a lie that, when 20-some-year-old girl will come forward and then asking you if you look like 25 or not. On your first date, she's going to really smell that you're 45.
No, and starting with I actually have noticed, we had this discussion with Diolli.com executive director, with Katerina, and she said that usually when she sees a request and it starts with the line that I don't look my age, I'm 62, but I look like I'm 35 and I act like I'm 27, it's like 95% guarantee that we won't end up working with him. Because usually people who look good for their age, they don't need to do this all 2 pages of advertisement, because I will have a call with him or with her and I will actually see everything. And
yes,
it's ridiculous. Actually, it is interesting because ladies, they tend to lie less often about their age, and I can think only about a few ladies who during the call were telling me that, oh, I don't look my age, so you have to introduce me. No, but with men, it happens ridiculously often that I don't look my age, I don't act my age, I did this test on Facebook and I'm 25. Or another popular scenario, like all my friends are younger, or all my colleagues at work are much younger, they really like me. But it is one thing to be friends with you. For example, maybe they don't have a father figure or a grandfather figure, so they want to hang out with you because you have lived longer, you have more life experience, and they want to learn more of this life experience to prevent some mistakes. It doesn't mean they want to date you. It doesn't mean that they find you physically attractive and dateable.
Yeah, excuse me.
Bless you.
I thank you.
Gesundheit, as they say in Deutschland.
It's a 42. We don't say it in Japanese. It'll be like, but in America, I was like, oh, bless you. And we're like, okay, thank you. You get really busy with me. I'm just gonna, every time I sneeze and I have to be very quiet so that no one says anything in America. So, but I have a 42-year-old lady. She's a Japanese lady, beautiful, like really well educated. She's in that kind of like her work. She deals with a lot of like a traditional background, so like a lot of older Japanese mentalities in the environment. So she doesn't want to be. I mean, she has such a bad image of Japanese guys, of everyone being that way. Very imperial, hierarchical, very traditional, the woman as a second class. That is how she feels that she's being treated. Yes. So all she wants to meet is someone much younger. That's a problem too. Much younger. And she's also say like she looks young. And she may be only 42, but she's young at heart. She doesn't look, everyone compliment her that she doesn't look her in 40s. So I said, okay, but in this matchmaking service, we have to show the age. And how would you justify that? Picture, yes. But the guys who's much younger, she wants someone like as young as possible. And she meets a guy who's like 8 years younger and like in early 30s. And then guys who are attracted to strong women. Sometimes, guys look for that, like young man who's looking for a strong, independent career woman to be a very attractive figure for him. So he would
with mortgage paid.
Yeah, but then she's like really excited, like, oh my gosh, after we've been telling her, like, I don't think we can match you. I mean, I don't think it's going to work out really well in terms of if you want to get married, don't waste your time. So she would meet like young guys, series of young guys, something that she never tell us, right? Like, she's like, as long as he's young, I'm okay. I won't complain. He's just, everything is really fantastic. So after 2 or 3 dates, now he lives with a parent job. He's talking about changing the job. That's worrying. So she started like looking for some reason not to move forward.
Maybe she doesn't want a relationship. She doesn't want a relationship.
No, I think it's like a typical mentality of like, smart woman who will start like looking for the reason for not to move forward, not looking for the reason for move forward at certain age.
I often tell our clients, both male and female, that if during the day, instead of concentrating on things you don't like, you actually start naming out loud or writing down things that you find attractive about your dating partner, it will change your dating life. Because usually, like, there is 1 or 2 things that, for example, you dislike or you find that you don't have in common. But then there are like so many things that you actually like about a lady in front of you. And you dismiss all these positive qualities because of these 2 things that very often are insignificant.
Yes. Yes. So we're saying like a lot of women start from negative, like, the second they say hello to each other, like -5 points. And then the second she sees the color is not like really straight, another 5 negative points. And by the time they have a tea, like half an hour tea to 30 to 1 hour tea, there's like no points left. Like there's no positives that they look for. That's very sad.
That's disappointing. I was thinking that very often men forget that women are visual too. And sometimes I hear such nonsense from men that, oh, women don't care what a man looks like. For example, especially Ukrainian women don't care. In our culture, people take appearance a little bit too close to their heart, in the sense that people dress to impress, and people invest lots of time and effort into their looks. If you have ever been to Eastern Europe, like Ukraine or Poland, you will be surprised how many like nail studio, brow studio we have in the downtown, like everywhere. In Germany, it's hard to find as many places where you can not improve your looks, but take care of your looks. And if a woman invests so much time and effort into her looks, she will pay attention that he doesn't have like a pedi, or his feet look like he has never actually washed those feet. So she will pay attention that you're wearing same shirt you wore for the previous date and it is not fresh. She will notice it, and she will notice it that your nails are not tidy, or you have hair in your ears or nose, like you have mentioned. So sometimes gentlemen think that, okay, I want to date someone who takes great care of her looks, who dress nicely, but she has to pay zero attention to the way I look, to the way I dress, to the way I take care of myself. Why?
It's really strange. Yes, I have this exact client looking for like a perfect girl. And then the perfect girl he meets, we set up that Zoom date a couple of years ago. He's the European guy. And then I introduced him to Indonesian girl, like a very beautiful Chinese Indonesian girl. And she would be like a perfect in his eyes. But what she said to me was like, oh, he looked very nice, but I couldn't stop noticing the sweat of his undershirt, like underarm was sweat. Like you could see the shadow. And she said, like, well, I don't think I can, be with someone who's sweating like that. So that was the end of it. So I told my clients, like, look, because he was really interested in talking to her more again. And I told him, like, okay, well, don't wear some clothes that shows your sweat, because obviously, you were like sweating to death. And she noticed it, unfortunately. And that's something that she can't stand, unfortunately. So, and then now I think he started to wear like a jacket or something that he doesn't really show. So, but girls are checking on, like, how well dressed he is. But I thought, like, a really weird Japanese guy. He was like really successful, and he showed up to this date with this Louis Vuitton hat, Hermes scarf, and it's almost like walking brand. I mean, head to toe. He was like very manicured, perfect skin, nicely polished teeth and nicely tanned skin, short hair, well dressed. Everything was like all kind of calculative, just like the guy on the brand magazine. So this girl, she's like a really pretty lady. She's always looked for the guy who looks perfect, like a visually perfect. So here he is in front of her eyes. Perfect guy turns up. And you know what she said? And she said, like, I never felt suffocating, seeing someone really into himself. I said, yeah, I think so, because someone who's already know how to dress and how to look nice, they're not gonna spend the money on you to make you look nice, because all the money is gonna go to himself. So why would you want to be with the guys the guys who's already, like, you don't have any space that you can modify to the way that you like.
I was thinking, we were working with this Chinese gentleman, and he was young, like late 20s, early 30s, and he was obsessed with Kenzo brand and all the logos. I have asked him to wear something less tacky on a date, because logos, it was like he was a brand ambassador or something. And he went on a date with a lady, an attractive lady, and the first thing he said to her was, oh, I love Kenzo, you probably have noticed, and I wear only this brand. And when I was getting her feedback, she said that I don't remember much what he was saying after. I was trying to eat my salad faster and to finish this date, because it was such a huge turn off. And she said that she felt offended. It was like if he tried to sell himself to her, he was not asking her like questions, he was only bragging all the time, and she was turned off. And the gentleman later was confused, because he thought that she should have been impressed, but she was not. How come? And I told him that I warn you that you should wear like a nice button-down shirt, because when in Rome, do as Romans do. You were in Ukraine, so dress like people do in Ukraine mostly on a first date. Something
familiar look.
Something with less Kenzo on your across your chest. So sometimes men do that, and they claim that they don't want to attract someone materialistic, they don't want to attract some money-minded, and then they go out wearing all these brands and bragging instead of telling her that you look good. This is the right thing to say on a date. He starts describing what he is wearing.
Yeah, I mean, that was like a really weird guy. I mean, it was a Chinese guy. Also, he came to me. He said he's very successful in the IT industry. He's the multimillionaire, and his first wife was 20 something, and but he left. I mean, she left him already, and he went on and said like, I bought her pink diamond from Harry Winston. You know how much it cost? And it's like, well, I have no clue. I said, he said like, well, I bought her everything. I bought her anything that she asked for, and she left me. I said, that's why she left you. Because you are just a bank and not for love, as you know, as you're supposed to find. But he said also, he said, can you find this kind of ladies? And he sent me pictures of cyber girls. If you can Google like a Japanese cyber dancers, that's the image that you will get. It's like, you know, it's like a very unrealistic, you know, look of their face with lots of makeup, with it's just a cyber dancers. So he's interested in, you know, finding a cyber dancer as his wife. And I said, are you really serious? I don't think I can really have access to like a cyber dancers, because first of all, like they don't exist, and they're not really looking for someone like you. And you know, I think if you really
they don't look offline like that.
No.
How can people still believe that?
That's what the man in 20s, that very unrealistic expectation. Maybe we have another video of man in 20s with unexpected realistic expectations in some other time. But back to the ladies. Yeah, I think it's I think it's the ladies these days. I mean, I think it's more you look for like someone better than you. The hardworking lady who would very polished tend to look at the guy with the same look, so never satisfied her. So that's like a really harsh eyes.
I think we should wrap this up on this advice, and I hope that our subscribers will tell us in the comments below if they find such videos useful. If they want more videos like this, then probably I will ask Justine to stay longer at night, and we will do more videos like this one, because we have like 12 hours of the time difference. It was tricky to find the time.
Yes.
Thank you so much for like staying till late, and I'm sure that our subscribers have learned a lot, and I will leave your contact details below this video so that they can contact you if they have some questions. I think we will wish everybody love, and we will see you in the next one.